welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing the TV series on Netflix called Inside USA. The first season that premiered, I believe, last week. I watched it all last night until 1 o'clock in the morning. I saw a clip on Instagram with Zach and this other girl, and it was them at the end, and she pulled on a lever and she ended up winning the money. That clip kept going viral, and I kept seeing it. I was like, oh, I really want to see what this show is. So I went to Netflix and I binged it all last night. I'm not familiar with the origin of the show. I guess it's from these guys in the UK. They're like the largest YouTubers, I think, in the UK. They have over 22 million people subscribed to their channel. And they created this TV show, and then they now brought it over to the US. So this was their very first season. Didn't really know anybody in the cast besides Ekin-Su and then Dwight Howard. Ekin-Su I've seen her in The Traitors, and I know she's a reality star from the UK. And then Dwight Howard's obviously an NBA player, so I know who he was. But I wasn't really familiar with anybody else. I'd seen Zach before in videos on YouTube. And I think I've seen Mark in something. Oh, Mark was in Updating. That's where I've seen him before. I really enjoyed the show. It gave me a little bit of Big Brother vibes. It's only 7 days, and they have to go through these different competitions, and then there's also this temptation room. But the unique thing is, which it's similar to Big Brother, but this one is money-based. I think they start off with $1 million, and each day it shows how much money they've lost. So in order to lose money, you get the crappiest meals in this game. Very similar to Slop and Big Brother. And if you decide to upgrade a meal, it costs money out of the pot. So a lot of these girls, and especially that one guy, Sketch, and then it was, what is that other guy's name? I want to say his name is Jay, but that is not his name. What is his name? They would call him Cinco, or he went by Cinco. Anyways, they would spend a lot of money in the store. They would sneak in there and spend so much money. And then the girls would start spending so much money. And the pot is just going down and down. I don't know if this is something that the creators of the show have thought about, but I'm pretty sure Dwight Howard is the richest person in this game. I feel some of the players didn't feel that $100,000 or $200,000 is a lot of money. A lot of people didn't really care, but then there was other people who did really care about the pot. And I felt like that's how it was on Traitors last season, was that there were these people who were millionaires and billionaires versus the civilians who play Big Brother or Survivor, who actually need the money for, their kids' college or to, survive or whatever. And a lot of these other stars have so much money that even a lot of money to other people does not seem like a lot of money to them. So I think that was the frustrating part. You saw it specifically with the guys, and specifically even Ekin-Su, she had one of the lower spending ones, was that these women were just spending a lot of the monies. And then the guys were the ones that were starting to get eliminated. It was just really interesting. I'm like, you're a week here and you don't have cell phones or technology, and you're probably wearing the same clothes every single day. But it's just interesting, the high maintenance of some of these people. I mean, even a couple of the guys were high maintenance like that, whereas the other guys were just like the willpower was definitely stronger for some than for others. But as the game went on, I think a few of them had lightened up because they realized how much money that they were losing in the pot. It was just a really interesting game show. The girls are savages. I will say that. The girls were savages more than the guys were. And the girls talked gameplay and or catty and all this other stuff. So it gave me a Big Brother vibe. Whereas the guys just kind of, they bonded by socializing with the girls and other people. They didn't necessarily talk gameplay too much. They were very observant and they necessarily didn't want to be the big personalities. Also, I don't think many of the guys had big personalities. Zach definitely has a smart mouth because he's in comedy. So people didn't know whether he was like trustworthy or not, even though he was up front the majority of the game. Mark was a heartthrob, so like his looks and the feel that he makes other people feel got him, pretty far too. But I would say I even liked Max. I don't know what his profession is in the UK, but he was pretty good too. Like him and Zach had like a really good friendship, and then once Max left, Zach and Mark had a really good friendship, and I thought that was really cool. It was really cool to see those dynamics between the guys, because they all look very different and have different personalities, but they actually meshed really well together. I think they had a lot more in common than probably you would think about at all. I don't know, for me, because I have seen Big Brother before. I haven't seen it recently, but for me, when there's a game, I'm not normally like emotionally involved. I haven't been in a certain situation, I don't think, like this, but I have been places where I've been stuck with people for a certain amount of time. And for me, some people got like really emotional. And I'm like, guys, it's just a game. You're only here for 7 days. Imagine if you're in Big Brother for 90 plus days in a house where you're locked from the outside world. Like 7 days is like nothing. So for me, it was just, I don't know, it was just kind of interesting how certain people got emotional, especially towards the end. I was like, oh my gosh, guys, like, it's just like a game. If they don't realize it's just at the game at the end of the day, then maybe they're like not cut out for it. I don't know, but I was just kind of surprised on how the emotional toll is for some people in games like these, because for someone who is a fan and who would all be about strategy and love sports, it's like you leave it there and you like walk away. Like there is a line that, or like a boundary that you have, just being a competitive person. And so I think a lot of people took things like heart to heart. I don't know. It was just really interesting. I thought there were some like really cool moments too. Like Sydney and Zach, I thought they were like super cute. And a couple of people like knew each other. A couple of pairings that came in knew each other. So it was really cool to see those friendships, or kind of where the relationship is outside of the house. And then also see the new relationships bond. Like everyone said, goodbye to each other and was nice in that aspect. And just looking at gameplay, there were people who were stronger than other people. And I think the reasons why people sent other people packing was very much gameplay on. They were very honest about it. I don't think there was anything malicious. Like other game shows, there's a lot of malicious intent, but like this one didn't seem malicious at all. It was pretty, I would say, pretty tamed. Everyone kind of had like the same type of cadence when it came to like reasons why, and everyone was kind of like on the same page, and you realize at the end everyone was just having fun anyway. That's how I feel. Some games should just be like, you're having fun. And I loved what Mark and Zach did at the end. Specifically, Mark's first, because Zach even leaned over and he said, why didn't you take it back? And he said, I didn't want it anymore. Just to take it back again. And I don't know, it's just really interesting to see what people will do for money. And for him, he realized at the end that the experience was even more than he could imagine. And the relationships that he formed in the house was much greater than risking them over fighting for the money. I think if no one took Mark's box, it would probably be a different outcome. But the fact that one of the girls did take the box and then just going to steal it away from her again, it probably was one of those things where if I do it again, how many enemies am I going to have now? Are people going to get over it outside the house? And do you really care whether you want to maintain the friendship that you build in here? And so it was just really interesting. And then I wonder if Mark making that move influenced Zach in any way to make the move that he made in the final round, because he ended up having a ticket in his box as well, even though he was truthful. Everyone literally asked him, and he said, yes, there's a ticket in here. And nobody believed him. And when everyone was shocked when it came out, I'm like, dude, Zach was honest the entire time, or at least the parts that we shown. So I don't know why you think that he's not being honest. But back to what I was saying, I wonder if him looking over at Mark and saying, hey, why didn't you take the box? And he said, I didn't want to. And he kind of gave him a fist. And he said something like, you're a good dude or a good man or something. And they end up hugging it out. And then Zach helped the girl at the end win the money. And I remember him saying in one of his confessionals prior that anybody winning this kind of money, because we're all working together for this pot, should be exciting enough for anyone who wins that amount of money. And so he was really excited. If he didn't win, someone else would win, and that money would be life-changing for them. And he did touch on that at the end. So I just don't know. I think he was a little shocked that Mark didn't take his box back, and I just wonder if him starting that off kind of had Zach think about it. But I don't think I would question Zach's intentions at the very end anyway. I think he seems like someone he does more for other people than he does for himself. So it's not necessarily out of character for Zach to do that. It was just interesting how they showed Zach asking that question to Mark and why he decided to do it. And then in the reunion, they both brought it up, and the girl said, she's like, I just the chivalry, I guess, or the decisions that the two men made, both Mark and Zach, like really blown her away. So I hope that this show doesn't like paint guys out to be bad, because I feel like some of these good guys get bad reps. And I'm just like, what else does a guy need to show you for them to have good intentions? Maybe so many women have been disappointed by men that they don't believe there are good ones out there. But like Mark and Zach have been straight up the entire time. I even really enjoyed Max as well. He was really nice. It was just an overall great show. I really enjoyed it. I hope there's more seasons. All these people, I think, are internet streamers or content creators or something like that. And I feel like those people on the internet seem more celebrity than actual celebrities. I feel the streamers and the content creators, the independent ones, they're the ones that are rising up and becoming more famous than actual celebrities. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the coming years on how that's going to shift in reality TV, how that's going to work, specifically with game shows. Because like I said, Dwight Howard was the only non-content creator there. That's it for my review on Inside USA. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.